So what I've learned, this video is going to be about what I've learned this past year, going down this path and this journey. Kind of to give you guys an update on where I was at when I started this, as opposed to where I'm at now. And I feel like from here going forward, I mean, it'll be nothing but up because I don't want to say that we'll just get into this video, right? So for all you guys who's not familiar with me or new to this channel, I do want to say thank you to all the new subscribers I have, all the people that's taking the time out of their day to comment on these videos and tell me that it's inspired them or it's led them to become better or try to be a better person. And it really warms my heart because that's all I'm really trying to do here is try to help you guys out, try to help you to figure out who you really are and what you're really doing here. And if you can't come to that point, at least how to live a better life. I mean, that's what we all need to do. We all need to come together and try to help others out because what else is the point in all this if we're not trying to help other people out? I mean, if we're not trying to help others out, what is the point of it? Like there's no point in this if not. So a year ago, I was 300 pounds, the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. Normally, I weigh in between about 180 and 200 pounds. So, that was it was pretty big shell shock for me to get to that point. I was abusing Xanax, Klonopin, and cocaine. And I don't even want to say cocaine because I never really had a problem with cocaine. It was always prescription medication that I had an issue with and that always found a way to bite me in the ass. And I had lost about everything that I had worked for, built up to. I lost a job that I got away with murder at, that I was making more than enough money at. I lost due to this shit. My wife was about to leave me. In fact, she did separate me. My kids were not really looking at me like a parent figure at the time because I was absent, just to be brutally honest here. And 1 year later, I purchased a new home a few months ago. I have got my life back together, thankfully. Got on a healthy plan, healthy diet, healthy everything. I went from being a selfish, egotistical asshole to going out of my way, and it don't even feel like it's out of my way now, but before it would have felt like that, but now I make sure that I let other people know how appreciative of them I am. I make sure that I spend the time in the moment with people and try to make them feel better, even if it's just through words or if it's just through a hug or a look or anything. I try to make people feel better or feel like they matter because everyone matters. And we all put on this facade that that the ego wants you to put on, that makes you want to think you're right all the time or makes you want to think that you are all this stupid stuff that makes you want to defend yourself constantly. Even though you're wrong, you still want to defend yourself. And if we all could drop that and drop the fear, because I'm going to get into this a little bit further about what I've learned this past year, but I just want to, kind of show you guys where I was at as opposed to where I'm at now. And what I've learned over this past year is a few different things, and I'm going to break this down for you. I've kind of mentioned these things in other videos, but I'm going to go much deeper into it here. And I'm also going to clear up some things that I'd said in previous videos that I, went back and watched and realized that I was wrong. So I want to touch on now to give you the clarity of where I am now with that. So the things that I have learned is perception is reality. Whatever you perceive to be true will be true for you. And it's as simple as that. So perception is reality. Realize that. If you truly believe it, you think it, and you speak it, it becomes true. And that is something that will benefit you if you can use it in the right way. You have to be very careful about what you think about. You have to be very careful about what you speak about. Because That's how reality gets created. Another thing I've realized is, like I said, consciousness. There's nothing but consciousness. There's nothing but God. You are conscious. Your consciousness. You're experiencing yourself. It's a beautiful thing once if you can experience this, if you can realize this. The one true thing and the one true answer to anything that you can think of that there's an issue with is love. Love is the answer. If we can get love out there and get everyone to love themselves, because a lot of people that paint hate and fear out into the world do not love themselves. If they can learn to love themselves, they can learn to love others, and then love will be the answer, the ultimate answer. That's the only one true answer there is, because that's how, like I said, that's how everything will get fixed. We all need to unite as one. We all need to love each other. We all need to try to help each other, because what else is there to do? I mean, what else do you have better to do with your time? A few other things that I've realized here is, do not take something negative and make it infinitely worse than it has to be. And I can give you examples of this real quick. Like, let's just say that you lost your job. Now, that is a negative. Don't take that and make it infinitely worse than it has to be, because once you do that, you're creating a bottomless pit that is hell. And to talk about hell, we're going to talk about heaven. Heaven and hell is nothing other than right here, right now, what you perceive, whatever you see around you to be, whatever you perceive the world to be. That is heaven or hell. It can be heaven for you, or it can be hell. It's really up to you to decide that. You have a high amount of creative power, and something I'll expand on in this you have infinite creativity, and imagination is key here in this. Something that a lot of people won't understand or pick up on, but if you've kind of experienced what I've experienced, you'll understand what I'm saying. And that ties back into, if you believe it, you speak it, you think it, it becomes reality. That is your creativity right there. That's how you create reality, and it can benefit you greatly if you realize to do it. If you realize it and you do it in a positive fashion, and you can control it, it's very beneficial for you. Another thing I've realized is, money is not anything but a survival tool. You don't need money for anything. I used to be centered around money. I used to think money made you happy. I used to think that you being a status figure or having some sort of status in the community made you something, and it doesn't, and it just makes you miserable. Giving is better than receiving. You have to give something to receive something. That's a blessing. Miracles do happen. And don't be so quick to dismiss all this religious stuff. It's turned into some dogmatic practices. It's turned into some fear-based things, and I do believe that it is being used a lot of the part to control people and not let them live up to their full potential and really see what's in front of them, and that is that you are God. People are too busy worrying about the afterlife, or too busy worrying about the future, or worrying about what they did in the past, to realize that there's no other place you can be than right here, right now. So don't let the idea of heaven and hell, or an afterlife of eternal suffering or pleasure, take you away from what's right in front of you. Because a lot of people think that, I talk about ego a lot and how it's a bad thing, and it really is a bad thing. Your ego will destroy you if you let it, because the idea to think you have to be right all the time, the idea to think that you have to have the last say in something, that you have to look good, that people actually care that much, that they're going to hold on to it as much as you do, which is absolutely not true. I can promise you no one cares as much as you think they do. So it would probably benefit you to be more open-minded and accept criticism, to realize that, you being wrong is not a bad thing. You failing's not a bad thing, because this is going to help you later in life. This is going to help you later. And I do realize, and guys, you're going to have to stay with me, because some of the things I say, and then some of the other things I say is going to kind of contradict them. Like I said, it'll help you later in life. And then I said, there's no place you can be than right here, right now. You can't be anywhere but right here, right now. And later in life means later, when it's right here, right now, in an altered lapse of right here, right now, that it will benefit you. That's all I mean by that. And the worst thing you can do, the absolute worst thing you can do, is have anger. The worst thing you can do is have fear. The worst thing you can do is hate people, because that is one of the most destructive paths. It's self-destructive. You're not hurting anyone when you have anger. You're not hurting anyone when you have fear. You're not hurting anyone when you have hate, except yourself. Realize that. You're only hurting yourself. And I've been wrong many times, and this is what I'm talking about with the ego. Like, I realized that I was wrong, and even in the times, a lot of the times that I was saying stuff and doing things that I knew were wrong, I still did it to defend it, to try to protect this person's outlook and opinion like it really mattered. And it's silly. It's really silly. Looking back at it, I can laugh at it, but during the time, it was serious for me. That's why I try to look at all this through the perspective of other people, because I understand the way the brain works and the way the brain functions, and the way that it can pull you into these pockets and try to hold you there and trap you there and make you think that that is what is important. And it's a hard concept to understand, I think, to people that have not experienced what I've experienced, or went through what I've went through, or whatever you want to say. A few other things I realized is science is not the truth. Science is far from the truth. It's a fraction of a fraction. Like I said, religion is not a bad thing if you take it metaphorically. If you take it literally, it will fuck you. And just treat everybody the way you'd want to be treated. I mean, just love everything, because that's all there is love. Because all there is you, unfortunately. I mean, it's not unfortunate. It is what it is. But there's nothing but you. There will be nothing but you, because you are conscious. Your consciousness. And you are imagining all of this. None of this is real. And the way you perceive it to be real, even though it's as real you can get. Because there's only two states you can ever be in, and that is in reality or in the void. And you're going to choose reality a lot of the times. So I just want to say I love you guys. This has been for real. This has been a crazy 1 year ride. I hope that, I hope I can come back here in another year and give you guys more insights and updates, and try to help you guys live a better life. And seriously, I really do appreciate everything and everyone. And if I have helped you in any way at all, that means more to me than you guys know. And seriously, like, when I say I love you guys, I don't just mean this as some stupid shit I'm saying. I mean, I seriously love every one of you. And that's all I can say. Thank you.